What's up, guys? It's Lord Both here with another video, and we have a really weird censorship story going around. This comes to us from PC Gamer, entitled Valve Removes Pro-Palestinian Shooter from Steam After Complaint from UK Counter-Terrorism Police. Dev says we see clearly the double standards. Valve has removed a game from Steam in the UK in response to a request from the UK's Counterterrorism Internet Referral Unit, a body that polices extreme content on the internet. The game in question is called Fursan Al-Aqsa, the Knights of the Al-Aqsa Mosque. It was released in 2022 and casts the player as a member of the Hamas group attacking Israeli targets. While the game has been available for a while and would obviously cause offense to some anyway, some, this latest development seems spurred by a new update at the start of October, the Operation Al-Aqsa Flood update, which features recreations of some of the aspects of the Hamas terrorist attack on Israel on October 7, 2023. The trailer for this update includes text such as, quote, "I want an explosive belt to blow myself up over the Zionists. I'm just reading the quote, YouTube," alongside game footage of Hamas fighters shooting Israeli Defense Force soldiers, as well as the execution of an Israeli hostage. And I'm just going to put this out here. What a wild story to put a lesbian family calendar ad in. The game developer Nidal Najim makes the contradictory claim that players cannot carry out the latter act in the game and are also penalized for doing so. Yeah, but you knew it was gonna be something very eye-popping, so you put it in the trailer, which implies that people are gonna be able to do it, or at least see it, within the game. And by the way, to set some ground rules here, there's a very different sort of line when it comes to freedom of speech in terms of writing and speaking things, and actually showing and doing things. Most platforms have a sort of restriction on what kind of violent content you can show and do on a platform. On platforms like X and other social media sites, there's different variations of what you can show. And even on Valve, I'm sure they have a whole ton of different games. They even have sex games on Steam. But I'm sure there is some limit to what Valve can actually publish and show. And apparently when the counter-terrorism force for the UK calls them and say, hey, we can't let you sell this game in our country, you would think Valve would be like, okay, we can see that's why. Valve contacted Najim on October 22nd to inform him that the game had been removed for sale. Fursan Al-Aqsa has also been blocked in Germany and Australia, which its developer says is because he can't afford to apply for an age rating. Probably also says something about your game's sales, which, by the way, I did look this game up here in the United States on Steam, which it's still available on sale for, mostly because the US has very open freedom of speech laws, which personally I like to think is a very good thing. And this game is on sale for like $5. So probably not making a whole lot of money off this thing. The region lock of my game in the UK was clearly due to political reasons. They are accusing my game of being terrorist propaganda. I don't know how they could ever come across that idea in the fact that you show a terrorist act within the trailer of the game. Najim also states, I do not blame Valve nor Steam. The blame is on the UK government and authorities that are pissed off by my video game. On their flawed logic, the most recent Call of Duty Black Ops 6 should be banned as well, as you play as an American soldier and go to Iraq to kill Iraqi people. What I can say is that we can clearly see the double standards. Okay, there's a big difference there. In Black Ops 6, you go to Iraq and fight Iraqi soldiers within the confines of war. Two military forces fighting against each other. And if you want to make a game where you have the IDF fighting Palestinian Hamas soldiers, that's probably fine. And it seems like the UK was even alright with that, as they let your game be on there for about 2 years. But when you make a trailer showing a terrorist act, and then you have an update that features attacks similar to the terrorist attacks on Israel in 2023, then that's completely different. Guess what? When Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 release and the No Russian mission was played by a lot of gamers for the first time, a lot of people were shocked and mortified because it was a horrific thing to play as a terrorist killing civilians. And they also gave you the option to skip the mission because of how horrific that act is. In all, this is one of those things where, as an American that has very liberal freedom of speech laws, I don't fully agree with. And I think no matter how terrible his game is or the depicted acts in his games are, he hasn't violated any free speech laws here in the United States. And while deplorable his beliefs and his actions, the game within the legal confines of the United States is completely fine to buy and play. The problem is this game isn't getting banned in the United States. It's getting banned in the UK, which we know have far stringent speech laws. People are getting arrested for Facebook posts, complaining about the government, or for calling people homophobic slurs. How did he not think that his game that depicts terrorist acts was not going to be taken down by the UK government? Just because they're so friendly to immigration, especially Muslim immigration, and liberals are in control of the government right now there? No, the speech restrictions go both ways. So I can clearly see and understand why this game was banned, both from a legal standpoint and even a moral conceptual standpoint. But those are just my thoughts on all this. If you have your own thoughts, go ahead and leave them in the comments. If you liked this video, go ahead and like, share, and subscribe. If you didn't like this video, appreciate you watching all of it, and we'll talk to you again later.